Ladies and gentlemen, in the complex and ever-evolving conflict in the Amhara region of Ethiopia, where tensions persist between the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, and Amhara regional forces, it is imperative to delve deeper into the latest developments. These updates shed light on the multifaceted nature of the ongoing conflict and its far-reaching implications for the region and beyond. The South Gonder zone, and more specifically the Ebnut district, have become focal points of intense fighting between the ENDF and Amhara Fano forces. The situation here has reached a critical juncture, characterized by relentless and brutal confrontations as both sides vie for control. Reports from the front lines paint a grim picture as the fighting in the Ebnut district has intensified to alarming proportions. The Amhara Fano forces, who are deeply entrenched in this struggle, claim a significant victory. They assert that during the course of a recent operation, they launched a fierce attack that led to the immediate deaths of 7 militia members and other individuals aligned with the ENDF. Additionally, a substantial number of ENDF fighters have been captured and are currently being held as prisoners of war. Among the casualties, the head of the district militia office, Mr. Guillermo Diaz, and his driver tragically lost their lives. These losses serve as a stark reminder of the high human toll exacted by the relentless violence in this region. Adding to the gravity of the situation, the Amhara Fano forces also claim to have seized a significant cache of firearms and other military equipment during their operations. This suggests that the conflict in the Ebnut district is not only marked by fierce fighting, but also by the strategic acquisition of weapons and resources by both sides. The sheer intensity of the conflict is reflected in these developments, emphasizing the deep-rooted animosities and determination of the opposing forces. Meanwhile, a twist in the narrative emerges from the ongoing conflict. Just a week ago, we reported the tragic death of Brigadier General Marie Yin, who had been serving as the head of the Gonder command post for the ENDF. However, the latest updates have brought a surprising turn of events. It has been revealed that Brigadier General Marie Yin is not in fact deceased, but is currently in custody. He was apprehended during a military operation and subsequently transported to Addis Ababa, where he provided a statement while under arrest. Intriguingly, his current whereabouts remain unknown, leaving many questions unanswered. This development marks a significant change in leadership within the command post, with a new commander stepping in to fill the void. The latest updates from the ongoing conflict in the Gojam region of Ethiopia paint a grim and complex picture, reflecting the multifaceted challenges faced by both the Ethiopian army and Amhara Fano forces, as well as the broader socio-economic ramifications for the region. One of the most significant developments on the ground is the Ethiopian army's engagement on 2 distinct fronts within Gojam. These simultaneous battles signify the dire and widespread nature of the conflict, with multiple areas experiencing intense hostilities. The Ethiopian army, which has previously suffered substantial defeats in various skirmishes, is now grappling with a concerning trend. Reports indicate that a substantial number of Ethiopian army soldiers have been surrendering to Amhara Fano forces. This surrendering of troops underscores the vulnerability and challenges faced by the Ethiopian military, which has seen its capabilities significantly compromised. Recent video footage has emerged, providing a stark visual representation of the grim situation on the Shua front. In this particular battle, the Ethiopian army has suffered a major defeat, resulting in the loss of over 40 soldiers. The visual evidence of this conflict serves as a somber reminder of the high human cost associated with the ongoing confrontations. Concurrently, reports from various sources shed light on the Amhara Fano forces' remarkable successes across multiple fronts. These victories, achieved against the backdrop of a beleaguered Ethiopian army, further exacerbate the military imbalance in the region. This situation is compounded by broader crises, including economic challenges and the high cost of living faced by the local population. These socio-economic difficulties have created a fertile ground for discontent and unrest among the populace. Given the confluence of factors, it is anticipated that the dissatisfaction among those grappling with the burdens of the high cost of living will culminate in multifaceted protests in the near future. These protests have the potential to add another layer of complexity to the already tumultuous situation in Gojam, as they represent a civilian response to the broader challenges faced by the region. According to recent updates, the prohibition on travelers journeying from the Amhara region to Addis Ababa with the aim of entering the city has been reinstated. This ban, which had been in effect for over a year, was previously lifted in response to appeals from human rights organizations and the public. However, it has now been reimposed. The resurgence of this ban can be attributed to the conflict that erupted between Fano forces and government security forces in the Amhara region. Consequently, travelers are being compelled to turn back from their routes. Our on-site reporter observed that travelers on the Debre Brehan Addis Ababa road, which connects the northern part of Ethiopia to the capital city, were being instructed to cease their journey at Shannon and return to their point of origin. The enforcement of this directive is carried out by security forces and armed militias donning the uniforms previously associated with the Oromia region's special forces. They identify travelers with Amhara region identification and mandate their return to their starting point. Among those separated from the vehicles they had boarded in Addis Ababa, some individuals were left stranded at the scene, while others were obliged to return to Debre Berhan, near Sheno. Certain travelers who were returned from their intended route due to their plans to enter Addis Ababa explained that they lacked the financial means to return to their origin. It should be noted that if there are any suspicions regarding travelers, their complete details should be documented and their journey allowed to continue. Despite pleading with the security forces on site, these individuals were not permitted to proceed, forcing them to remain on the road. A reporter present at the Shino checkpoint, one of the locations where individuals are halted in their travels without apparent cause and are required to return after displaying valid identification and undergoing searches, spoke with those affected. One individual whose journey was interrupted, a young man residing in Addis Ababa but originally from Diz, revealed that he was informed his sister was unwell, which prevented him from passing through. A reporter present at the Shino checkpoint, one of the locations where individuals are halted in their travels without apparent cause and are required to return after displaying valid identification and undergoing searches, spoke with those affected. One individual whose journey was interrupted, a young man residing in Addis Ababa but originally from Des, revealed that he was informed his sister was unwell, which prevented him from passing through. At various checkpoints, all passengers are subjected to searches. Upon reaching Sheno, it was disclosed that Asu and his companions were denied passage despite presenting their driver's licenses and valid renewed Amhara region IDs to the inspectors. Another victim of this situation recounted how he was en route to Addis Ababa with his sister, who had a medical appointment but was also denied passage and forced to return with his ailing sibling. Those familiar with the issue argue that government security forces at the checkpoints arbitrarily turn travelers back to their point of origin. A resident of Addis Ababa who requested anonymity reported that even university students heading to their institutions are being adversely affected by this travel ban. The individual explained that the route taken by the university student to reach his brother's institution in Addis Ababa crosses the city, and as a result, arrangements had to be made to transport his brother by plane. The Gojam-Addis Ababa travel route, which had previously faced restrictions, has been disrupted following the outbreak of conflict in the Amhara region. It has been reported that intermediaries have emerged to facilitate travel from Addis Ababa to the Amhara region and various areas of Gojam to Addis Ababa, charging passengers exorbitant fees for passage from Gohatsion to Daejeon. Criticism has been directed at the government on numerous occasions for allegedly infringing upon citizens' freedom of movement by prohibiting individuals with Amhara region identification from entering Addis Ababa. According to Article 32 of the Ethiopian Constitution, which guarantees freedom of movement, every Ethiopian has the right to move and acquire property in any part of the country they choose. Human rights organizations, including the Ethiopian Human Rights Commission, (ESMECO), and the Ethiopian Human Rights Council, (ESMEGU), have invoked constitutional provisions and called on the government to respect citizens' freedom of movement. Despite repeated requests for comment, the Oromia State Government Communications and the Oromia Police have not cooperated in addressing this matter.